Yes, you deserve some time for self-care, some time to relax. Now, you might not be buying into that. In fact, most people don't because most people have expectations. I don't know about you, but I know I fell into this trap many, many times where I have the highest of expectations. In fact, I think purposely I've set these expectations so high that I know that I'll never get there. So I always know that I'll be always beating myself down and never truly taste success and never truly have some pride and have some space to say, hey, you know what? I can relax. I've earned this and I am gonna take some time for myself. And the world's not gonna stop. It's gonna keep on doing what it always does. It's always gonna be busy out there, but that's okay because time out for me, I need to reset, recharge, rejuvenate. I need to relax and I'm gonna be okay with that. That's where I really hope you are. And if you're not, then I want to paint a picture here for you. And if you could go back to any point that you had a lot of stress in your life, some typical stress points would be moving a house or maybe a career change. So any type of stressful point in your life, if you could go back and remember how you felt. And of course you felt stressed, right? I know that, I get it. But I want to know, how were you treating yourself at that point in time? How much self-care and how much time were you giving to yourself? And how much care were you giving to others as well, and compassion and patience? And what do you think you were getting back from them? Were you thinking you weren't getting enough back for them and perhaps there were some resentments building up? And we know that resentments are probably the number one culprit for cutting us at the knees and bringing us down to that level we never want to be at again. If you don't remember, go back to the emotion fast. We talked a lot about resentments, but back to this picture that I'm painting. If you've had points like that in your life, then have you ever taken a time out, some time for self, some time to relax, and did something that was nurturing for yourself, that was fun. Perhaps it was unnecessary and uncalled for at that point in time because, hey, you're in the middle of a career move, you're in the middle of a house move, but you did it anyways, and it's like you just plugged in, just like you plug in your device, your phone or whatever, and you see that battery coming up, and that's how you felt. It just energized you, whatever that was, if it was a favorite pastime, if it was music, if it was art, if it was more, traditional relaxing activities, if it was curling up and reading a book in front of the fire, or if it was taking a hot bath, whatever it was, what did it do for you? How did you feel afterwards? How did you show up afterwards? How was your power levels afterwards? So the reason I tell you that story is because that story, although that's a painting in your memory of maybe a distant past or even a long time past, it will be a future for you, a very, very near future, because it's just around the corner for us when we're going to have our lives sort of turn upside down with some sort of chaos or some sort of problem that we're faced with in our lives. So we need to remember how important this is, this relaxing. And if you have never tried relaxing while you're under duress, then you gotta try it because it is like a magic pill. It is the prescription that medicine can not even come close to. The amount of energy and empowerment that you can get from really doing nothing. That's the whole problem about the mindset around this, is a lot of this stuff is all self-centered, self-absorbed, has nothing to do with true success, about making money and fame and fortune and all of those things that I think all of us to different degrees have some of that need in us, but it doesn't have anything to do with that. And that's why, it's very difficult for us to wrap our heads around taking that time out, because it has nothing to do with our future and us moving forward to whatever future or vision that we have for ourselves. But here's the big paradox, and here's the big contradiction: the fact that when we do take some time to relax and recharge and reset ourselves, then we get a thrust forward into our future like nothing else can deliver for us. It is food for the soul. It truly is. It is energetic, and it's the most powerful source of energy that we can ever tap into. And I need you to tap into this, because this is a long game. We know that. And how long? Well, a lifetime, your lifetime. So we got to keep moving forward. We got to keep doing the work. So we do need some breaks, some pit stops, some time for self, and some time for reflection, and doing stuff that really doesn't perhaps make a lot of sense, and perhaps at that certain moment totally doesn't make sense because you're under a stressful situation. But it's those times even more so that we need to take a time out. Now I'm going to ask you some tough questions here so you can get really aware of your relaxing in your life, and if you've got enough of it, if you need a little bit more, or maybe you're just completely in the dark about relaxing. And these tough questions, first of all, what do you do for fun? I love asking this question to people because typically people are going to be asking, if you get into any type of an event or any social gathering, is, hey, what do you do for work? What do you do for a living? What do you do for your career? Those are the common questions, but I like to throw this one in because it throws people off track. It makes them think. As a coach, that's what I try to do, is I try to ask the right questions, because all the answers are in you. When I ask this question, most people get confused about it. So I'm asking you now, what do you do for fun? But this is an acronym, and it stands for frequent, unnecessary, and nurturing. All right. So when I'm asking you, what do you do for fun? What do you do frequently, consistently? Okay. That is really unnecessary. It is something that really isn't about, making money or making a name for yourself. It's really just about you and what you like to do, what you love to do, what you have passion for, what inspires you, what lights you up, what moves you is probably going to be unnecessary when you put some real logical, analytical thought to it. But putting all of that away and really using that creative part of our brain that needs nurturing, okay, which is the N. And nurturing basically is anything that does all of those things, that is basically the fireworks show that goes off in your head every time that you do it, that you lose track of time and you really get grounded, you get present. All the issues of yesterday and tomorrow seem to dissipate or even disappear. It's like being in Vegas, where you sometimes you lose track of time. But in this case here, we're actually in an environment that is very nurturing, whatever that may be for you. And it might be something that you have in your life right now. I really hope that you do. But if you're anything like me, you might not have any of these nurturing, relaxing type of activities. I remember my mother said to me many years ago, as I was building my business, my fitness club, she said, Chris, you don't have any hobbies. She was concerned about me. She wasn't being critical, because I used to have hobbies. And all of a sudden now, I don't have any hobbies because work is consuming me. And quite frankly, I was a workaholic. And she really made me think. This must have been, more than a decade ago. And I still remember it because it was like a slap, and it stung. And it woke me up, okay? At least the beginning of my awakening, to the point that, or the fact that I knew that I'd given up all of those things that were nurturing, that really inspired me, that I had passion to do. I left all those things. And now in my life, because this is my program, this is my program of recovery, to recover my health, my mental and my physical health, and also to keep the weight off that I had gained as well. So I had to go through this as well. And I brought back the things that I always had passion for. Playing the drums is one of them. Now, that could be seen as completely unnecessary and completely irritating and noisy for anybody else who's in the near vicinity as well. But I do it and I love it. I love pounding rhythmically on this drum set that I have. It was really cool because I went out and I bought this drum set. You know, here's this older guy, you know what I mean, buying a drum set, and you know, I'm getting those looks, but I'm loving it because, you know, this is a big step for me. It's a big step in taking care of myself, and it's something that I'd forgotten about. You know, I'd fallen into self-neglect and away completely from self-care. Some of the other things as well as reading for me. I'd not picked up a book in probably 5 years. And you know, now I probably read a book every 2 or 3 weeks. And I just register or I reflect on how I feel after I do these things. And that's why they're nurturing for me. Because as long as I know that I'm present, and a lot of my worries seem to disappear, and I lose track of time, and I calm down and I relax, and even my body biology gets in sync with my emotional or the psychology. My resting heart rate goes down. You know, I monitor my heart rate on this activity tracker here, and I can see, you know, when I'm under a stressful situation. I can see when I'm in a relaxing situation. I can see that. Blood pressure and all that biofeedback comes back with a 5-star rating. You know, even when I think that I've grown enough and I've changed my lifestyle, you know, to the point where there is no more changing about it, you know, this is the facet that I go back to and I work on, because this is where I evolve. You know, this is where I balance myself out, because I don't know about you, friend, but you know, if you're a type A personality and you're always on the go and got some nervousness and anxiousness about you, you know, we really need this relaxing facet. We need to have some fun, and we need to know what fun is for us. And it might be something that you have in your life right now, okay, but if it's not, like it wasn't for me, then I want you to go back and think about what was fun for you when you were 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30 years old, okay, if you're over 30 like me. I started playing the drums when I was 15. You know, I started reading probably when I was 12 or 13. So it's really ironic, and you might find this for yourself if you start really putting some thought into, you know, what do you do for fun? You might find that you knew what was fun for you when you were an adolescent, when you were in your early 20s or maybe in your 30s. And I guarantee you, my friend, it hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is your mindset, okay? Or your belief about relaxing or about that particular activity, about taking some time out to actually get it done. That's probably the only thing that's changed. And perhaps there's some things that you wanted to do way back then, or maybe there's some things that you want to do right now. I don't know, you want to skydive, you want to do something crazy, or maybe it's just something like taking some time out for yourself. Whatever it is, I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to write at least 3 things down, okay? 3 things that you would like to do, that you haven't done, okay? That are fun, you know, that you could do frequently, that is completely unnecessary, but definitely nurturing. And perhaps there's some fear there that's holding you back, but that's okay. Take that right off of the page, okay? It is a blank slate, and just write it down. If it's something like skydiving, which I do think is a little crazy for me anyways, that's okay. Write it down. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you to write it down without any reservation, without any fear stopping you from doing that. And then maybe 3 more things that are a little more realistic perhaps, or things you've done before, things that you know are fun, but perhaps you haven't done them in a while because you got busy with, you know, other people's problems and other people's agendas, OPP and OPA. But my friend, you have an agenda too. You have a life, and I want you to start living it. And life is supposed to be fun. You know, there is, you know, periods of suffering, and I know that because I went through that. And I'm more than grateful that I went through that. I'm the man I am today because of that. But there is periods that I have fun. I have a lot more fun today because I take care of myself. And I feel a little bit more relaxed about relaxing, about taking the time for myself. I truly do. And I want that for you, my friend. I really do. So the other thing I want to ask you, another tough question perhaps, is what have you done for, not me, what have you done for yourself lately? We'll put a spin on that cliche question of, what have you done for me lately? No, what have you done for you lately? Ask yourself that. Now, this question stumps all the people that I coach one-on-one. When I have this conversation, there's this period of silence. And I go with it because, I really want them to sit in that silence, because a lot of them don't have an answer for this. They can tell me what they've done at work, and they can tell me what they've done at home. They can tell me what they've done for everybody else, right? And for everything else that's important to them, paying the bills, paying the mortgage, etc., etc. But they have a hard time telling me what they've done truly for themselves that has nothing to do with anybody else, right? Or even their own sort of future agenda. Just something that is nurturing. And the third, perhaps tough question is, are you in your schedule? When you get serious about anything, if it's career, right? If maybe it's relationships, if there's something that you need to do at work, or there's going to be consequences, if there's something that you need to remember in a relationship, maybe it's an anniversary, maybe it's a birthday, I guarantee if I open your Daytimer right now, I'm going to find it in there, right? Without a doubt. But are you in your schedule? Am I going to see you and the activities, okay, that you need to do for yourself? And am I also going to find some activities that are frequently there, unnecessary, and very nurturing? I might find, the workout, right? Monday, 6 p.m., go to the gym. That's fantastic, okay, if you're there. That's step 2. But step 3 is, do you have your next vacation planned? Can I find that in your Daytimer? And if I can't, then I can only imagine that you probably won't get on that vacation, okay? You'll get to it, when you have time, when you're not so busy, but you don't know when that is, and neither do I. But when it gets into your Daytimer, when you are in your schedule, just like all the other things, it'll be more likely to get done. So, the question, are you in your schedule? I want you to open your Daytimers, open your calendar in your computer. Are you there? Any of the things that perhaps you need to do for yourself, and also some of the things that are just fun that you can do frequently, that are unnecessary, that are nurturing. I want to leave you with a little excerpt from The All-Inclusive Diet, my book here. I thought it was a great way to complete this lesson, and I really hope that I have fulfilled my intention. Before I started taping this, I said, all I want people to do is understand that they need to take care of themselves. And it's not always about some sort of objective that they have to be successful at something. What about just being free again and being a kid again and being present right here, right now? So, if I got you thinking about that, then I met my intention. Time is important because they're not making any more of it. So you better take some for yourself before it's too late. When you do take it back, make that time mean something for you and only you. This time isn't about anyone else. It isn't about what you think you should be doing. It's not about getting anywhere or becoming someone you think you should be. It's only about what you want to do. It's what brings peace, joy, and pleasure into your life. Inspire to aspire, my friend.